Hi there. Here's how to make an electric circuit clown. It's an electrical toy that shows just how flexible electricity is as an energy supply. It can produce light and heat from a bulb. It can make movement using an electric motor and sound using a buzzer. But we do have a technical problem, because if we use a series circuit where each component is connected after the other, if you connect the bulb and the motor to batteries, the bulb and the motor will work. But if you include the buzzer in the circuit, only the buzzer sounds and not the bulb and the motor. It's because of the different resistances of the components. So to get all three to work at the same time, we have to use a different kind of circuit called a parallel circuit, which I'll explain later on. To give this toy a bit more excitement, it's going to be switched off and on using a reed switch, REED, a reed switch. And a reed switch, you don't actually have to touch it to switch it off and on. It can be switched off and on using a magnet, and the magnet only has to come fairly close to the reed switch. It's used in alarm circuits. The reed switch is a glass tube with two pieces of metal which are not quite touching. They overlap each other, not quite touching. When a magnet is brought close to them, they flex and they touch, thus completing the circuit. And when the magnet is taken away, they spring back to leave a gap. This toy is available as a kit from my supply service, and I will supply the reed switch with wires soldered on to make it a bit easier for pupils to connect up, because as it comes it's only got these little short wires which are a bit difficult to use. Okay, so to get started, we're going to, the kit does come with a design for a clown's face, so you could get the pupils to design their own face, of course, and it's easier to colour it in before it's fixed onto the toy. And I'm going to glue this onto a piece of Corex. This is 3mm Corex. You could of course use card. There we go. Okay. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to decide where we're going to have the bulb. I think I'm going to make the clown's nose light up. So I'm just going to use a screwdriver. You could use a sharp pencil to make a hole. I'm just going to use a sponge block here to safely punch the hole through. Needs to be a larger hole than that. Let's see if I can find something. If we can use these scissors very carefully to enlarge the hole. And just keep enlarging the hole until it's big enough for the light bulb to be pushed through. Just undo the bulb holder. There we go. No, it's not big enough yet. But just keep enlarging the hole until no, it needs to be a little bit bigger. There we are. We've got the bulb coming through there. So I'm going to make that just a little bit bigger. Okay. Next we're going to start to connect up this parallel circuit that I was talking about earlier. And the secret of getting these parallel circuits right is to lay out the components. I always lay them out in a line, a vertical line, like this. Now we need to connect one wire from each component to one wire from the other components. So I'm going to take one of the motor wires and connect it to one side of the bulb holder, and I'm also going to connect it to one of the buzzer wires. Now it doesn't matter which way around the motor is connected. I don't really mind which way the bow tie is going to spin. The bulb, it doesn't matter which way you connect it round. The buzzer, it does matter. The red wire of the buzzer has to be connected to the positive side of the batteries. So we'll twist these wires together, cross them over and twist them together, and wrap them underneath that screw head. Always wrap wires around these little screws in a clockwise direction. Then as you do the screw up, they will stay on. And we do exactly the same with the other buzzer wire and the other motor wire, and we connect that onto the other bulb wire. There we go. So can you see now that we've got the motor connected to each side of the bulb and the buzzer connected to each side of the bulb? And now if we just see if this is working, let's stand the motor up so that you can see whether it's going to work. Remembering that the red wire of the batteries has to go to the red side of the buzzer. If we just touch these on, hopefully we get all three things working. Yes, we've got the buzzer working, the bulb working, and the motor working. So let's connect the battery wire onto the negative battery wire onto the negative side of the buzzer. So we'll twist, let's get that wire out of the way. So we'll just twist that battery wire on. And put it back on that screw. It can stay there this time. There we are. And before we connect the positive battery wire onto the other side of the circuit, we're going to include the reed switch. Doesn't matter which way the reed switch is connected round. Cross the wires over, twist them on. If you've got access to a soldering iron, of course, it would make it more reliable if you soldered these wires on. And then the other end of the reed switch is going to be connected to the other side of the circuit. It shouldn't come on when I've joined the wire on, because these reed switches are normally open. Just wrap that round and connect that and do the screw up as tight as we can. Now hopefully when we bring a magnet close to the reed switch, it should turn the circuit on. It does. And I don't know if you can see, but I'm not actually touching the reed switch. The magnet is operating the circuit with a gap of about 1 centimetre. Okay, well, we can now start to assemble our clown. We can push the bulb through. Now the motor, I think at this point we can glue the buzzer on somewhere. Doesn't really matter where it goes. We'll just glue the buzzer to the back of the clown. There's fine. Now the motor is going to be spinning the clown's bow tie. So again we need to make a hole in the middle of the bow tie. Again, I'm going to use a screwdriver pushing into a sponge block and enlarge the hole a little bit. And to give us a surface to glue the bow tie onto, I'm just going to put a small pulley on the motor. So it's going to enlarge that hole just a little bit more. Then push the pulley on like that, so that the pulley is sticking out the other side of the clown. I don't know if you can see that. And there's the pulley there. Well, just to fix that motor in place, we could use a motor clip. I'm just going to use a block of wood glued on. I think it can go on like that. So I'm just going to use a glue gun to glue that in place. And some glue on top for the motor. There we go. Let's get it in position so that it's horizontal. There we are. Just going to check that the circuit is still working and that the pulley is able to go round. Here we go. Yes, I can feel the pulley turning. So we can now glue the bow tie onto the pulley. Pupils, of course, can decide to have the bulb somewhere else. They can decide to have the motor doing something else. So let's see if that bow tie is spinning. Yep, that bow tie is spinning round. Okay. So all we've got to do now is to make a base for the clown. I think, and also we're just going to get some, put some glue, glue this to the back somewhere, decide where it's going to be. I think I'm going to have the reed switch behind the flower. So I'm just going to glue the batteries down the bottom here. Okay, and we could use sticky tape or glue to glue the reed switch down. I'm just going to use glue. Just give that a second to dry. There we are. If I had more time, I'd get some sticky tape and tidy up all these wires. And hopefully somewhere around the flower, there we are. You soon learn where the sensitive part of the reed switch is. Well, we've practically finished really. It would be nice to make a base for the clown. So I'm just going to glue it to some thick Corex. You could use a piece of wood. Go, and I'm going to support it with some right angled triangles. Could use sellotape to assemble this Corex. Sellotape and Corex work together really well. With hindsight, perhaps I should have left more space to allow to make it a bit easier to change the batteries. And there we go. And the last thing that I'd like to do is perhaps to put the magnet on the end of a piece of dowel to make a magic wand. I'm going to use a bendy straw here and glue the magnet onto the end there to make a magic wand. And that's the finished electric circuit clown. I hope you enjoy making it.